This is a Warhammer 40k lesson with man 957. I haven't been on in quite some time. I apologize for that. I've been pretty tied up. Yeah, I know it's pretty much an excuse for all my videos, but anyway, as you can see, I took down the assaulting video yet again, and I promise the next video, if it's not exactly right, I'm going to take it down, and I'm going to ask my uncle and everybody I know who plays to see exactly what it is before I repost it. That's a promise, guaranteed. Anyway, before we get off into other subjects, today my lesson will be about shooting at vehicles such as a Land Raider Crusader. A Land Raider Crusader is a type of tank. Now, before we get all this other stuff, let's get down to the basics. Each vehicle, unlike a Death Copter, which is treated like a regular infantry unit, has a front armor, side armor, and rear armor. Now, the side armor is so each vehicle has a different number for them. Like, for this vehicle in particular, the front armor is 14, side armor 14, rear armor 14. This one's all matching 14. Sort of like the Necron monoliths. For those who play Necron, I can sort of relate to that. Oh yeah, speaking of Necrons, I totally kicked my uncle's ass in the game. He just got a new army, but anyway. Getting away from the point here. So, I'm going to be shooting at it with this Death Copter. Now, first step. Shoot at it with a normal to hit. Get out a d6. This elastic skill, normal hit. And my elastic skill is 2, so I was supposed to roll a 5. And you can't really see it from there, but let me bring it up here. It's a 3. And since it's twin linked, I get to go again. And it's 5. And we're all good. Now, obviously I'm shooting at the rear armor. So, then you roll another d6 to 2. And you add the strength to the d6, which 8 plus 2 is going to come up to a 10. Now, if it matches or is over whatever you're aiming at, in this case it's the rear armor, it either glances if matches or penetrates if over. Obviously, it didn't make it. It missed by 2. But the only chance I have with a strength 8 weapon here is to make a glancing hit. So let's hope I roll a 6. Okay, I rolled a 5 and I just missed it. But since I can teach, let's assume I got a glancing hit. Okay? Now, then you roll another d6 to see exactly what happens to the vehicle. Okay, I rolled a 6. Now, I mentioned some stuff about glancing hits and penetration hits. When you have a glancing hit, which is when you roll your d6 and it matches whatever you're aiming at for the armor, there's a chart to see exactly what happens to the vehicle. You minus 2 down. So I roll a 6, it should explode, but instead, since it's minus 2, it's going to be immobilized, alright? If you roll a 1, it's shaken, 2 stunned, 3 weapon destroyed, 4 immobilized, 5 wrecked, 6 explodes. And other modifiers such as there's no AP is a minus 1, hit by an AP 1 is plus 1, target is open topped and plus 1. But it can't go into the negative, so if you roll a 1 and then you're told to do a minus 2, it's just going to be 1 because obviously there is nothing below 1 on the table. But you could just not hit, but that's not exactly how the rules are. Alright, so it's immobilized, it can't move for the rest of the game. And now I'm just going to go through the others in exact words of the rulebook. Let's say you roll a 1 and it's been shaken. The vehicle is rocked by the attack, but no serious damage is sustained. The vehicle may not shoot until the end of its next player turn. Let's say it's stunned. The vehicle crew is knocked about the attack, or perhaps the vehicle targeting and steering systems are temporarily scrambled. The vehicle may not move nor shoot until the end of the turn, so they can't move or shoot until the end of the next turn. Weapon destroyed. One of the vehicles chosen by the attacker is destroyed, ripped off by the force of the attack. If a vehicle has no weapons left, treat the result as immobilized result instead. This can include vehicle upgrades that function as weapons, such as printer mounts and shore bolters or hunter-killer missiles. Now, like I said, it's whoever the attacker is gets to pick which weapon is destroyed. And immobilized. The vehicle is taken a hit that is crippled and wheeled, track, grave, plate, jet, or leg. It may not move for the rest of the game. An immobilized vehicle may not move, but its turret can continue to rotate selected targets. For other weapons to retain their normal effect. Further immobilized result counters weapon destroyed. So, if it's already immobilized, it's weapon destroyed. If it's already weapon destroyed, it's immobilized. And if it's already both, then it's nothing. Let's say you roll 5 and it's wrecked. If it's wrecked, the attack critically damages the hull and internal systems. Vehicle is destroyed, the model is left in its place and becomes a wreck. And a wreck basically means it becomes terrain. So you take out any weapons that aren't glued, and no turning on its head for extra terrain. Yeah, I know, it's a temptation, but seriously. Now let's say you roll 6 and it explodes. The vehicle is destroyed and fuel and ammo detonate, ripping it apart in a spectacular explosion. With flaming debris is scattered D6 from the vehicle, and models in range suffer strength 3, no AP hit. Vehicle is then removed and replaced with an area of difficult ground representing scattered wreckage or crater if you have one. So basically anything within D6. So for that, if I were to roll a D6, right? And when they say D6 scatter, it doesn't mean use scatter die. It means roll a D6. Go from the center of the vehicle, and anything within that range suffers not that much of a strength. A strength 3 and then absolutely no AP hit, so automatic save. It's not that big of a deal, but sometimes you'd want it to wreck. Maybe you assaulted the vehicle, which is going to be another lesson. Then you would want it to just wreck. But if there's stuff in the vehicle, and if it's wrecked, it can still deploy unless it's demodelist, because that's it's like a teleport thing. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But 5 and 6 things kind of shaky to see which one's better. Anyway, but to remind yourself what exactly is wrong with the vehicle, I like to give myself a little reminder by there's the chart. So let's say it's immobilized. I put a 4 on there because that's what you rolled to have it immobilized. And, well, that wraps this lesson up. Almost forgot. Modifiers. If it's a glancing hit, you -2 off the chart. No AP, -1 off the chart. Hit by AP 1, +1 on the chart. Target is open topped, +1 on the chart. So let's say the target is open topped and you shot at it. If you roll a 4, you technically roll a 5 and it's wrecked instead of immobilized. Same thing for an AP 1. No AP hit. If you explode it, it's wrecked. So instead of 6, it's a 5. Glancing hit, I already sort of explained that before. That's what happened. But let's say you roll a 4, and instead, technically you roll a 2 and it's stunned. And there are certain modifiers, like extra armor treats stunned as shaken, and got bigger and art cases and stuff. But they're always a good choice. Extra armor and art cases for Orcs and Space Marine players out there is always a good choice. And, well, that wraps it up for this lesson, finally. This has been a Warhammer 40k lesson with Demand 957. Thank you for watching.